Blocked by Hayes. Now the ball pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it. Right on in front, they score.
Welcome to Sports Jam. I'm Jay Wilcox.
I'm John Jacobson. This week, highlights from early season contests in girls swimming, girls tennis, and soccer.
And we'll have the story of one of our 4 new 12 Sports Hall of Fame members. And first up, a big week of football. Robbinsdale District Schools Armstrong and Cooper hadn't met on the football field since 2010, and not since 2004 in the regular season. The Falcons and Hawks were each 2-0 coming into their matchup. And this one on Cooper's home field. And Cooper gets on the board early after a quick 3-and-out by Armstrong. Levante Taylor scores to make it 7-0 Hawks. Late in the second quarter, Cooper stretches the lead. Taylor has plenty of room to score on a 10-yard run, and it is 14-0 Cooper at halftime. After a long kickoff return by Philip Howard, he finishes the drive in style. He eludes the rushers and gets loose down the sideline. It's a 33-yard touchdown run. Cooper leads it 20-0. And their defense is strong all night. Moses Nyangacha with one of his 2 interceptions here. Down 26-0, Armstrong does get on the board late in the game, but it's Cooper with a 26-6 win, and we'll hear from the Hawks later in the show.
Wayzata also got off to a 2-0 start. They faced Prior Lake in a matchup of top 5 teams in Class 6A. Trojans on the road, but they start well. Jake Marsh with a play-action fake, and he'll run it in for an 8-yard touchdown, and it's 7-0 Trojans. Second quarter and a big defensive play by the Lakers. Jamal Johnson bringing the heat. Zach Keller the interception. It's a touchdown. 10-7 Prior Lake. Third quarter, a great catch by Tyler Didier keeps the Wayzata drive going. The Trojans will cap this drive with a field goal, tying the game at 10. Fourth quarter, Johnson now on offense powers it in from 3 yards out, putting the Lakers back in front. Wayzata ties it up again, and then a huge defensive touchdown on the interception by Jake Crow. The Trojans take a 24-17 lead. Andrew Kovat seals the win with a fumble recovery for Wayzata, and the Trojans win 24-17.
We just talk about the fact that each game is played one play at a time. Just concentrate on your one play, and then at the end, whatever the result is, you can live with it.
We just got that mentality of just coming out and whatever happens, pick it up and play it again next play. So with that mentality, I think we'll be tough to beat this year. So it's a fun win.
Well, Park Center's season ended in a lopsided loss to DELASALLE last October. The Pirates were hoping for a different outcome this time around against the Islanders on Nicollet Island. Early first quarter, and Nick Weber back to pass for DELASALLE. And Tyshawn Brooks steps in front of his pass. He races 45 yards for a touchdown. The Pirates lead it 7-0. Still in the first, and Amani Hooker takes the inside handoff. Makes a nice move on to the outside, and he is gone down the sideline. Hooker rips off a 67-yard run for a touchdown, and he is just getting started. Second quarter with Park Center still up 14-0. Weber's throw into the end zone is picked off by Hooker, and then watch this return. It's Hooker's second pick of the game, and this one results in another 6 points. Officially, it's a 100-yard interception return for Hooker, and Park Center leads it 21-0. Third quarter, and this one will look familiar. Weber throwing, and it's Hooker again with the grab. He has nothing but green in front of him. He takes it 65 yards for the Pirates' third interception return for a score in the game. That puts PC up 27-0. Hooker later adds a receiving touchdown as well. Park Center crushes DELASALLE 35-7.
Champlain Park was 1-1 through the first 2 games. The Rebels hope to knock off District 11 rival Coon Rapids. Last Thursday night, Romello Atkins gets free here. Brags Coon Rapids Tappers on a 19-yard run. Sets up a touchdown by Atkins, and Champlain Park leads 7-0 after 1. Some big plays on defense, too. Riley Altonen with a nice catch for the interception to halt the Coon Rapids drive, and it's still 7-0 at halftime. Champlin Park gets some bounces too. Blake Anderson's field goal try off the upright but through. 10-0 Rebels in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, Chad Costello throws it up for Eldridge Joyce, who wins the battle for the ball to make it 17-0. Champlin Park wins it 19-8. After an 0-2 start, the Brooklyn Center football team was looking to break into the win column last week. The Centaurs hosting winless Minneapolis Roosevelt. The Teddies, they'll get off to a good start. Aron Gundy heads up the middle and goes 37 yards for a touchdown, and Roosevelt leads at 12-0 in the second quarter. The Centaurs get on the board 3 minutes later. Davia Gabor goes downfield and hits Danny Tukar with a 46-yard touchdown pass, and it's a 12-7 game. Just before halftime, on a 4th down and long play, Gabor has time to throw and lays a perfect toss into the hands of Charles Wiley. This one goes for 43 yards. Centaurs lead 14-12 at halftime. After falling behind 18-14, the Centaurs' Chester Whaley powers his way into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown, 21-18 BC in the third quarter. Rufus Menden had a huge night carrying the football, goes for 202 yards, 16 yards on that touchdown run, and Brooklyn Center wins its first game of the season, 34-18.
Providence Academy was looking to get back into the win column after a 7-point loss to a good St. Croix Lutheran team in Game 2. The Lions on the road in St. Paul to face the Johnson Governors. Providence driving, and quarterback Henry Van Dellen looks deep to big Drew Lahr, and he goes up to get it in a crowd to give the Lions a 1st and goal at the 7. Will Johnson caps a drive for the Lions, sweeping right and just reaching the ball over the goal line to make it 7-0 Providence Academy after 1 quarter. In the second quarter, Johnson drives inside the Lions 10, but the pass is tipped, and Jack Brenner comes up with the interception. He's stopped on the run back, but it keeps the score 7-0 Providence at halftime. On to third quarter action, and Providence looking to add to the lead. Will Johnson gets the call again and delivers. His 4-yard run makes it 14-0 Providence through 3 quarters of play. St. Paul Johnson makes it interesting, though. Watch a perfect throw from Daniel Foster to Kewan Burton for a 24-yard strike on this play. The Governors pull within 14-6 after the extra point is blocked. But the Lions defense holds from there. Providence moves to 2-1 with a 14-6 road win. And John, really a pretty good week for local football teams.
Yeah, big wins for Cooper, Park Center, Wayzata, and others. And there'll be some interesting matchups here in week 4, including Maple Grove, Eden Prairie, and Osseo Totino Grace.
Yeah, should be some definite toss-up kind of games, and that's what you're hoping to see.
Next up on Sports Jam, swimming, tennis, soccer, and more. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back to Sports Jam.
Wayzata is the 2-time defending state Class AA champion in girls swimming and diving. The Trojans hosted Armstrong last week as the Plymouth neighbors met at Lifetime Fitness. 200 freestyle 3-way battle. Wayzata's Colleen Donlin beating out teammate Melinda Zhang and Armstrong freshman Grace Wolschlager. 200 medley relay also close. Sarah Lingen swims the winning anchor leg for the Trojans. Teammate Maggie Frank securing 2nd place for Wayzata. 100 butterfly, impressive finish by Armstrong's Wolschlager. She edges Wayzata's Marissa Skajewski. In the 100 freestyle, Wayzata's Alexa Schaff dominates with a winning time of 54.18 seconds. And in the 500 freestyle, Chrissy Van Larhoven takes it for the Falcons in 5 minutes, 13.83 seconds. Wayzata wins the meet 94-84. The Trojans also won the Minnetonka Invitational on Saturday. They won a total of 7 events in the meet, including Carly Quast winning both the 100 freestyle and 100 backstroke. Minnetonka finished a close second, followed by Maple Grove, Hopkins, and Cooper.
Now to girls tennis, where Benilde and Wayzata met up in a good non-conference match. This one on the Trojans' home court. Sam Stevenson serving at 1 singles for Wayzata. Frankie Trella rips a return winner for Benilde. Trella serving later in the first set, and she'll rip an ace on her way to a straight set win. To second singles, Taylor McLeod for Benilde, Allie Werner for Wayzata. McLeod strokes a backhand winner here for the Red Knights. Werner trying to be aggressive with the serve and volley, but a nice passing shot by McLeod for the point, and McLeod wins in straight sets. On to number 1 doubles. Paige McLeod serving for Benilde and sets up a volley winner for CC Obetz. Sydney Stern with a nice serve for Wayzata, but McLeod drops the return deep in the corner for the Red Knights as Benilde takes the match 6-1 over the Trojans.
Hopkins and Breck also faced off in tennis. This one was a close one. And number 1 doubles play, Grace Zumwinkle and Lauren Kozakowski in the near court for Breck. Elena Hallman and Nikki Hadley for Hopkins, and Hallman with the overhead winner for the Royals. Kozakowski gets the drop volley winner here for the Mustangs as they win in straight sets. On to 1 singles play. Maddie Sook for Hopkins, Kendall Kozakowski for Breck. And Sook will rip the forehand winner. Later in the set, Sook will stroke a backhand winner, and she will take the match 6-2, 6-2. At 2 singles, Anna Zumwinkle for Breck, Rachel Kelly for Hopkins. Kelly aggressive on the short for the forehand winner there. And then Kelly comes to the net here for a volley winner, and she will win in straight sets. 4 singles is a tight match. Breck's Sophia Martin pulls out a 3-set win over Hopkins' Carly Wolpert. Breck sweeps the doubles matches, and they win over Hopkins 4-3.
In girls soccer, Armstrong had to replace some key players lost to graduation who are now playing collegiate soccer. The Falcons had a bit of a tough start, but bounced back strong last week. They look to make it 2 wins in a row as they played at Osseo. Armstrong's Maggie Spellman dribbles up the right side and crosses to Haley Hansen for the redirect goal. The Falcons are on the board. Spellman then gets another assist. She sends it ahead to Mariah Haberly, who traps it down and then volleys it over the keeper's head. Nice goal there, and the Falcons grab a 2-0 lead over the Orioles. Off a throw-in, Haberly will strike again as she unleashes a rocket with her left foot. Armstrong goes up by a 3-0 score in the first half. Osseo gets some chances late in the half off a free kick. The header looks like it might go in, but Anna Aguado tips it just over the crossbar. It's a high-scoring game, and Armstrong takes it 6-2 over Osseo.
The Hopkins High School volleyball team was a preseason top 10 team, but with some new starters, the Royals have struggled early on. Royals at home to play Orono. First set, Hopkins on your right. Greta Werner's hit off the Orono blockers and down for a point, giving Hopkins a 10-9 lead. The Spartans come back. Olivia Scharf slides over for the attack and kill as Orono wins 25-21. Looked like the Spartans would win the second set too when Hannah Strigow's tip is down for a point, and they lead 20-18. But Hopkins pulls it out. Kara Lee to Jasmine Martin off the tape here for a kill. Then a 28-26 Hopkins win to even the match at a set apiece. Third set, and Jane Nelson blocks Morgan Marksher's attack as Hopkins looks to rally and win the match. But Orono plays consistent all night, and Strigow's hit gives the Spartans a 25-20 win in the third set. They would win the fourth set 25-22. Orono wins in 4. Hopkins is now 1-2 on the season. An early season cross-country meet turned into a superb performance for a local team. Hopkins rolls to the win in the boys meet at the St. Olaf Showcase with 54 points, taking 4 of the top 8 places. Owen Haft of Hopkins is the medalist. Hudson, Wisconsin is second, Wayzata third. Maple Grove places 6th, Osseo 15th, and Park Center 29th. On the girls' side, Red Wing is the champion ahead of Hopkins and Perham. Maple Grove is 9th, Park Center 15th, and Osseo 17th. Freshman Jasmine Armstrong of Red Wing is the medalist. Elizabeth Klecker of Hopkins finishes second.
Definitely a good showing for the Hopkins boys there. Tough to beat 4 of the top 8.
That's very good. And Wayzata had their top boys group of the Marshfield, Wisconsin meet. They go there every year, and they won again. So against some very good competition. And sticking with the cross-country theme, next up, we bring you the story of a coaching legend who is now in the 12 Sports Hall of Fame. This fall, for the first time since 1976, Wayzata High School has a new boys cross-country coach. Bill Miles retired, and last week he was one of the 4 new members inducted into the 12 Sports Hall of Fame. Here's his story. He is already a member of 2 Hall of Fames. And now we welcome longtime Wayzata boys cross-country coach Bill Miles into the 12 Sports Hall of Fame. Miles' 39-year coaching career at Wayzata came to a close last fall with a state cross-country championship, his 8th at the school. A native of St. Paul, Miles graduated from Cretin High School and then went to the University of Minnesota and ran for longtime Gophers coach Roy Griak. Bill admits he wasn't a very fast runner, and after one season at the U, he had the opportunity to coach cross-country back at Cretin. At age 19, Bill Miles was a college student and a high school varsity head coach. But he had learned a lot in his 1 year of running at Minnesota.
They were a top 10 team in the nation that year. Being able to see how they prepared, being able to see how committed they were, how they were able to focus, that was really useful for me to see. And then having Coach Griak modeling the love that he, the compassion that he had for everybody in his program. It wasn't about just winning, it was about acting with integrity and doing things the right way. Those were important lessons for a young coach to be exposed to.
After 6 years of Cretin that included 1 state championship, Bill took a job as a teacher and coach at Wayzata High School in the fall of 1976. Cross country was a sport that he loved to coach.
Coaching distance runners doesn't have the issues of squad size, it doesn't have the issues of playing time. The less gifted you are, the more playing time you're guaranteed, in cross country. So that was why it was an easy thing to gravitate towards. When you see somebody progressing from 520 to 450 to 430, to when you see that growth in terms of their development, or for that matter 610 to 550 to 530, that's exciting.
When middle school students in the Wayzata district were allowed to train with the high school runners in the late 1980s, the stage was set for the program's success. And in 1992, Wayzata won the first of those 8 state titles under Coach Miles.
Well, my old high school basketball coach told me that it doesn't matter how good of a jockey you are, you're not going to win the Kentucky Derby on a jackass. And so the reason we were successful is because I got to work with really talented, motivated kids who fed off each other. And the role that I would have had in facilitating that was maybe bringing them together and giving them the freedom to become as good as they wanted, as they were capable of becoming, or trying to do that.
20, 21, 22, 23.
He figured out things that you can really only figure out by coaching for as long as he did. And so, in college, I've learned a lot of things, but I really come to appreciate the mentality that he had in high school. He really instilled respect for the sport, respect for the other athletes you're competing against, and but he really made sure that we had our priorities straight, and I think that was the best thing that he instilled in us.
Bill was also an assistant coach in track and field at Wayzata, and for a brief time, the program's co-head coach. But it was in the fall where you could see Bill at practices and meets, coaching with humor, but always with a purpose.
The purpose, we're there for a reason, and the reason is for everybody to get better, and it doesn't matter whether you're a 7-minute miler or a 4:09 miler, whatever it might happen to be, we're there to get better.
Dozens of Bill's former runners have gone into coaching. Closer to home, his daughter Elizabeth also followed the path into education. She's building her own coaching dynasty. Wayzata's girls swimming has won 2 straight state Class AA championships.
I think I learned everything from him. I mean, everything that I know as a coach, I feel I learned from my father. And I don't want to do a disservice to the other coaches that I had in my life, because they also were great honors to me, and I hold those coaches dear in my heart as well. But I mean, my father is my #1 coach. I still actually go to him.
Oh, I love seeing her coach. In fact, I remarked to my wife, her mother, when they won their first high school league state title, that I hadn't felt that overwhelmed emotionally since maybe my first one.
Fully retired now from both teaching and coaching, Bill says he'll still follow Wayzata cross country and track, and as for that beard that he's had for decades, well, that will be sticking around.
Probably about 78 or so I had the beard, and I shaved it once, and Elizabeth was maybe about 4 years old. My daughter was about 4 years old, and she started crying when she saw that I'd shaved my beard off that morning, and my wife didn't particularly like the way I looked anyway. without the beard. The beard covers up some flaws, apparently. It has not come off, and my wife will still occasionally kiss me, so life is good.
Bill says he'll still attend some of Wayzata's cross-country meets and also his daughter's swim meets, but he and his wife plan to do some traveling in the fall, something they've never been able to do in the past. You can catch all of the 2015 12 Sports Hall of Fame special and see all 4 of the new inductees online at 12.tv. Sports Jam returns in a moment as Jay talks football with the Cooper Hawks.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. As we saw earlier in the show, a big win for the Cooper football team as they beat district rival Armstrong 26-6, and we're joined by a couple of the Hawks that have helped make it happen in that game and also all season. And Moses Nyangacha, a couple of interceptions for you against Armstrong. You know, how special was this night?
It was definitely a big night. We wanted to come out and make a statement. You know, it's a great win against a good team in our community, so we definitely wanted to do it, and I'm glad I had a great performance.
I was thinking that when I was coming in and just seeing how many people were here and everything. And this is sort of why you play high school football nights like this, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Definitely, we wanted to put on a show for the community, and that's what we did.
I think there was, for both teams, there was a feeling of not just that it was a rivalry, but let's see how we do against another good team. And you guys definitely passed the test in that way too, right?
Exactly. Our first 2 games weren't as strong as tests as this one, but we definitely came out here with the mindset that we were going to take this game, and we took it.
A lot of you guys got a chance to play last year, and you guys definitely won some games, but there were some close losses too. Do you think all of that learning, you know, both the wins and losses a year ago has made this a better team right now?
Definitely. For the players that played last year, we definitely thought that last year was kind of a let-off, but we learned all of our lessons from last year. We're not letting it happen this year.
Obviously, a lot of attention goes to an offense when you've got a guy like Levante Taylor and Philip Howard, but your defense is playing well too. Talk about that side of the ball. You know, how good do you feel about that?
Defensively, as a unit, we play as a family. We communicate all the time. We're close. We're all friends. So when we play on the field, it's natural to us. We just communicate and we have fun.
Congratulations on a great win and a great start here, and have fun the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And a great offensive line for this team too. Eric Abojei, one of the tackles, and I know there's been a lot of hype about this game, you know, not even just during the season, but in the summer and everything. Everybody's talking about, oh, Cooper and Armstrong are finally playing again. Was it everything you thought it would be? Was it as much fun as you were expecting heading in?
It was incredible. It was super fun. Like, I mean, it was just incredible for us. We put in the work during the summer, and we came out, we just showed what we did in the summer.
Definitely have some more good teams coming up on your schedule too. You know, you think of a team like Spring Lake Park or DELASALLE, programs that have been, you know, really strong. But do you look forward to those challenges and kind of feel like, okay, we're ready to play anybody?
Definitely. One of our big challenges that's coming up is Park Center, Spring Lake Park, all those teams. But we'll be ready for them.
Eric, thanks for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season here.
Thank you.
Eric Abojei, one of the talented offensive linemen for Cooper, helping them off to a 3-0 start this season after their victory over Armstrong. We'll be back to put the finishing touches on Sports Jam in a moment, but first a look at our plays of the week.
One-handed grab by Reed. Time to air it out deep down the middle.
It's a big football matchup between rivals Wayzata and Minneapolis. The unbeaten Trojans meet the Skippers Friday night at 7 o'clock. Join Ryan Iverson, Allie Arlton, me for the game with the pregame live at 6:54 p.m. You can also catch the game Saturday morning at 10 and Saturday night at 7 here on Channel 12. That'll do it for Sports Jam.
We'll be back on our regular schedule starting Monday next week. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Sports Jam.